Hey, Jorge, you want to play a little game?
Oh yes, I love playing games.
Okay. This hot girl is serving Fashion Nova look.
Ding 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 ding. Who is Megan the Stallion?
Yes. Okay. And protesting is happening all over the world, but it's still banned here.
Oh, ding 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 ding. What is the Olympics?
Boo. And this booty popping dance was popular in the 80s and still is today.
Oh, ding 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 ding. What is doing the butt?
Ow! Hey!
Oh, Kisa, I got one for you.
What?
What is adding a little flavor to your morning blend?
Mocha in the morning. All right, Mocha Marvels, welcome. It is time for Mocha in the Morning. I am your host, Miss Keisha Boyd, and of course, I could not do this without my cafe con leche, officially Jorge. Hey, boo!
Hey!
You're looking real starry and
yeah, just
right.
I love hanging out with the stars.
Yes, because you are a star, baby. Shine bright like a star, the star that you are. How are you? How was your week?
It was first of all, I was so happy that we got to finally have an in-person Kiki this week, right? That was cute. Because you can do that now, like for fully vaccinated people and keep your distance. We ate outside. It was a beautiful day.
That good stuff.
Like I took more than across town to get home. I had to like teleport home because I was like, ooh,
I might don't
have these kind of spices in a hot minute. And we didn't want no problems.
Ooh, Lord, but it was good. Okay, listen, we have so much.
Buckle up. I was go get this seatbelt off of me.
We have so much coming up this morning on Mocha in the Morning. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. But first,
coffee. And maybe
or a little juice
to calm down the rumble in the jungle.
Mocha in the Morning is brought to you in part by the Portico Cafe, where conversation, connection, and community create change.
All right, Mocha Marvels, we are back, and it's Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. I am your host once again, Miss Keisha Boyd, and of course, I have my cafe con leche, officially Jorge, who is here with this week's Steamers.
Good morning, Mocha Marvels. Listen, so if you were able to catch our teaser to this show, Keisha and I, we were playing this little game, and it's because the Jeopardy has some like new guest hosts. And speaking of which, like LeVar Burton, there's going to be George Stephanopoulos, Robin Roberts. And so anyways, that's why we thought we'd have a little fun with the whole, like,
Yes, and it was fun. You got all of your answers. So you should be about, I don't know, $5,000 richer.
I should be rich.
In Mocha money.
In Mocha money. Oh, I love that. In Mocha money. Hey. All right, so do I have some steamers for you? Oh, my goodness. So she's bougie. She's ratchet.
Yes.
She is a savage. And she is also a model for Fashion Nova. So, ladies and gentlemen, Megan the Stallion is making some money moves. So check it out.
She's always making money moves. And have you actually watched one of her Hot Girl Summer workouts?
No.
Honey, I'm like, she on the beach in this sand, and I already know that's a struggle for me just trying to get to the water to put my feet in. But you want me to run in this sand?
Right.
Struggle.
But good for her, and congratulations to her. You know, I remember for a hot minute, some people were kind of like hating on Fashion Nova, but it looks like they got it right.
Absolutely. Everybody posting Fashion Nova. I ain't mad at it.
So listen to this, and I know we are not going to hear the end of this. This is what happens when you work at home and you have kids and puppies. You try to do your job and you get that. But we're going to keep this moving because it is my little baby's birthday. He's 2.
Right.
Just check this out. Earlier, right, in this season in the show, we reported that Janet Jackson is coming out with her new biopic. It's supposed to be like a 2-part documentary, you know, that she is actually involved in.
Okay.
That the people who created the Framing Britney Spears documentary, they're now producing Framing Janet Jackson style type of documentary. And you know who it's zooming in on?
Who?
Justin Timberlake.
On the Super Bowl thing?
Yes.
OMG.
You know, those people went all in on everybody except for Britney.
Wow.
So this one is supposed to do the same thing. What I find very interesting is that I saw the Framing Britney Spears and how they, you know, portrayed, Justin Timberlake. And then I went online and then I saw another documentary about JC Chazé, who used to be like one of the lead singers in NSYNC. And now Justin Timberlake may have been involved and kind of like shelving his solo career. So I'm starting to see a trend now with JT getting involved in other people's pockets.
Okay. All right. Well, that's going to be interesting for sure.
Okay, so we'll see. Because Janet Jackson don't like no nasty boys.
Hello.
So he better put that sexy right back where he found it.
Ooh.
So anyways, check this out. So we the Winter Soldier and the Falcon and the Winter Soldiers series has come to an end. But it's the beginning of the new Captain America, who is Black. So we have Anthony Mackie, and his new action figure came out. Not only that, he can fly, girl.
Ooh, child. Okay, I can't sing that. But yes, good job, Anthony Mackie. I love Anthony Mackie. He's a great actor.
Right? So that was super awesome. Congratulations to Marvel and to Anthony Mackie it's pretty like historic, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, he is wearing, the red, white, and the blue, and the star. And one of the original Captain America, he got wings. Here we go. So, speaking of the Jacksons, right? So remember when the HBO documentary came out about leaving Neverland, and Wade Robson was one of the people who brought a case.
Okay.
Michael Jackson. Well, the estate of Michael Jackson, rest in peace, King, tossed it out. The judge said, and out you go.
Okay.
Right?
Wow, okay.
And so apparently it looks like Wade Robson is going to, wants to take this to the California Supreme Court. You can read all about that in the Hollywood Reporter. But you know what? Let that man sleep.
Yes, let him rest.
Yeah.
Let him rest.
And moonwalk your ass out the courtroom. Enough of it already. Now, some other folks that are moonwalking together are Michael Jackson's daughter, Paris Jackson.
Yes.
Her and top model Cara Delevingne got matching tattoos, and it looks like they have sparked some romancing rumors.
Ooh. Oh, yeah? Okay.
So we'll see. We'll keep a little relay. We're going to find out who's bad. And speaking of who's bad, oh my goodness. So the season of RuPaul's Drag Race has finally ended. This has been like the longest season ever. And part of it was because VH1 wanted RuPaul and company to produce more episodes because of the pandemic. And they wanted to stretch it out. But we finally got a winner, and her name is Symone, the
Okay.
Ebony Enchantress, who is unapologetically Black. And if you go back and look at the season, her theme was truly a Black Lives Matter theme. And she was able to portray that on the stage through her fashion, through her looks, and by all the messaging, the creative messaging that was happening throughout the entire show. So congratulations to Symone. Not only that, but you know what I just found out? And did you know that Cory Booker is RuPaul's cousin?
I did not know that.
Yes, he made a special appearance in the finale and congratulating, on the top 4. And I was like,
please.
I was like, shiny bald heads run in that family. And that's, girl, could you imagine being at that barbecue? The entertainment alone would just be like,
just listen, off the chain.
I will buy a ticket for that. Speaking of entertainment, Riri, please, girl. So she has an autobiography coming out. It's a visual autobiography with networks and Surface. And yeah, that's great and that's wonderful. Girl, we just want to have you doing the most of everything else. And can we just get like one more album? Make a greatest hits and give us a one new single. I'll be okay with that.
Well, I mean, hey, we can dream, right?
Right. Come on now. I mean, she is definitely putting in the work.
Hey, work.
The Barbados bombshell is doing a thing. We still want more music, but we'll settle for this new visual autobiography. And those are all your steamers. Everything that is happening in Black Hollywood and entertainment.
All right. Thank you, Jorge. We appreciate you. And Mocha Marvels, don't you move. We'll be right back with Piping Hot. Stay tuned. All right, Mocha Marvels, we are back for Piping Hot. Once again, it's Keisha Boyd, your host for Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blended. It's time for me to welcome my amazingly beautiful sisters to the stage to help me get through this segment. Let's go ahead and welcome Miss Kenya Woodard.
Happy Friday, everybody.
All right, our producer / correspondent today, Miss Shalette Davis.
Good morning, Mocha Marvels.
And our famous, nationally syndicated, popular. Oh, look at her, Miss Liz Everett.
Girl, we just trying to get it how we live, okay? Happy Friday, Mocha Marvels.
Oh, I love it. All right, let's just go ahead and jump right into Piping Hot. We're going to keep this nice, short, simple, but entertaining as we always do. So, you know what? Of course, we had the Oscars on Sunday, which was, it was interesting. And we're going to talk about, of course, how Black Hollywood came out and we're not playing any games, okay? The men and women were not playing any games, mostly the women. We're not playing on this red carpet. Liz, talk to us about your looks and who did it, best, I guess, on the carpet.
Well, I feel woozy already, honey, because it was absolutely enchanting. And I felt like the vibration of queendom and kingdom come down, honey, because Black people did it on that red carpet. Do you hear me? Okay? Regina King, ma'am, honey, she has worn Louis Vuitton the last 2 red carpets. And I mean, essence, the sleeves, she gave us glamour. We are working really hard to bring glamour back in American fashion. And she really just exemplified what that is. We cannot forget Angela Bassett and Alberta Ferretti. Sis, that red have a body, ma'am. I mean, she just gave us old Hollywood and it looked really fresh because she really just embodied and embraced, and she gave us shoulder and lipstick and hair, and I was here for it. Zendaya and Valentino, originally I had her in my top 5, but I don't know. But I'm still here for it. She was still slaying. And of course, Halle Berry was my other question mark on the red carpet. Also originally in my top 5, but in Dolce & Gabbana. What I did love was the drama. And I think what I am loving is just that we can see that the glamour and the drama and the yes ma'am is coming back, and that we're super celebrating all this gorgeous, fabulous, and delicious, shining, brilliant melanin.
Okay, now Liz, you better come through. Now I'm gonna tell you, I wasn't a fan of Hallie's hair. Okay,
honey, that Dora the Explorer, that can go. We can leave that. Yeah,
that's exactly what it was.
And somebody like made a reference too to like, it was like some superhero in a cartoon that had like a dip down bang, and I was like, Hallie, there's a lot of things we can do in couture, but that's not one of them.
That's right. That is not it.
Allegedly.
We love it. But we're just, dishing it there. All right. Now, listen, let's talk about how, the order of awards. Now, we can all say, Kenya, we can all say that we were pretty sure. Actually, I wasn't all the way sure, but I was pretty positive that Chadwick Boseman would get his Oscar. And they switched around the award order, and usually they do the best picture at the end, but they did the best actor at the end, which we were like, oh, this is like this whole dramatic buildup. And what happened? What happened, Kenya?
Right? Like, I mean, you could not have told me that he was not going to win. I would have bet the farm on it, right? Those of us who have worked in arts, we know that 2 things you can't defeat: a dead person and a kid. 3 things: a dead person, a kid, and a dog, right? Or a pet. So unfortunately, I would have lost everything I own because I just knew that Chadwick Boseman, I mean, why would you not, why would you switch up the order of events just to, have this great climatic conclusion? I had envisioned his wife coming up and accepting the award on his behalf. Like, I had all of these like dreams and fantasies about it, and they were completely dashed when I heard the words Anthony Hopkins. Like, who? Right. I know who he is, but I mean, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what producers were thinking, but it was such a letdown, complete letdown. And not to mention, it kind of piled on the hurt. We're still, grieving, going through that process of missing Chadwick. And, this was his finale, his last bow. And for him not to go, not to be named the winner for that category, it was just kind of building on the heartbreak. I was disappointed.
Absolutely. Like, Shalette, did Anthony Hopkins even expect to win?
Anthony Hopkins wasn't even there. That's what's just so I don't even understand, like, why did they go out of their way to lay a heavier disrespect on the legacy of Chadwick Boseman? It's not like this man could come back and do another film. It was a huge mess. I feel like maybe one of the envelopes got mixed up or something, because I still feel like this is a mistake that needs to be needs to be fixed, needs to be repaired, needs to be remedied. It's horrible, but whatever.
Yeah, like it's worse than when they named didn't name
Moonlight. La La Land.
Right. I was just
Moonlight. Yes.
I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, horrible. Even if they did come back to fix it, it's like I'm not gonna think it's genuine, and I'm gonna think you were pressured to do it, So it was horrible. It was horrible. All right, and then Liz, girl, honey. Now we all know about doing the butt. We know about doing the butt. And Glenn Close was out here popping, and doing the butt at the Oscars, and ran down some information that I probably didn't even know about doing the butt. Now I'm a go-go fan because I used to live in DC. I went to high school in DC, so quite naturally I know about the backyard ban and EU and all this stuff. Now the question is, was this planned? Or was it?
I mean, so I have heard, in production, we talked about how she could be a plant, right? I also feel like it's really possible that Glenn has some flavor that we really didn't know about.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of my Caucasian friends who are really talented, industry-wise, sometimes they feel like the Black communities, like kind of where they fit, because they got a little bit of flavor, you know what I'm saying, and can't really explain it. So, you know, I really want to know, I would really like to know what Shalette feels about this too, because, you know, I feel like she had a little bit of more, you know, zhuzh to it.
I also spent a tour in DC in my young adulthood, and am also a fan of Go-Go. It was totally a plan. All of her lines were planned, right? Because she delivered them with expert, you know, actress, whatever.
She's an
profession. But she said on yahoo.com, check it out, that her jumping up and doing the butt, that was spontaneous. That I believe. She jumped up, was just like, oh, and she got some cans back there. That's all. Cans. She got some ham, some summer hams back there. Okay, we're good. Okay, we go to the summer, y'all. We good.
Oh my gosh.
Glenn Close has a donk? What?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, not a donk, not some cans. But anyway, we're glad, you know, to whatever, however it was, what it was cool to see that at the Oscars. So, all right, let's jump into this, which is not so happy. We are not, I mean, I don't even know if we're a week off of we're a week off the guilty verdict, obviously, of George Floyd. But we have not had a moment, George Floyd, we have not had a moment to even breathe, like, no pun intended, but to even, I don't know, to even digest it. And there's so many other tragedies still happening around the country. Now, this latest one, Kenya, Anthony Brown, he was shot in the back of the head by North Carolina deputies. And like I don't even know if they haven't released the video, obviously. It's just so much going on. Like, what is happening in this case?
Well, it's Andrew Brown. And
excuse me.
Yeah, Andrew Brown. And I don't even know where to begin with this. Let's start at the fact that they have released something, right? A video, 20 seconds of a video of this man being shot 5 times, according to the autopsy, 1 bullet through the back of the head, which, you know, it's an execution style type of thing. And he was not armed, and he was trying to leave a scene. So it makes you wonder, really, did it take 5 shots to get him to, you know, I mean, what's going on here? We're not even, 2 weeks even after the Chauvin verdict. And we have had, maybe 1, 2, 3, I think 3 or 4 other killings since then, shootings of Black people by police since then. It's almost like, you know, the Chauvin whole situation, you know, that verdict coming down of, you know, guilty was just kind of like a blip, like, oh, okay, well, here you go. But yeah, continuing on, you know, what we've been exposed to and experiencing for the last whoever knows how long. It's just so exhausting. And unfortunately for this family, they're not going to get the answers that they need anytime soon either. All of the deputies, my understanding is that they have been not relieved of duty, but they have been placed on leave while everything is under investigation. Sorry about that.
They've been placed on leave. A couple of them resigned. One of them retired. Yeah. You know, so, you know, it's going to come out. I don't know. Listen, and then the other news, obviously, was the young lady, Ma'Khia Bryant, who I'm just tangled and twisted in this story, because it's like, did the foster mom call women to come and beat this young lady up? Like, what is happening here, Liz? Like, I mean, like, if so, and she needs to go to jail too. Like, she needs to go to jail.
I think that in this particular case, it's just so heartbreaking, because we continue to hear such horrible stories and horror stories, right, from the foster care system. And we have heard several different narratives about, you know, what happened. But the main narrative that I'm hearing as well is that the the foster mother called some women to come and kind of like handle it. And truly, like, that's not the way to deal with anything, especially over something as, wasn't it like because she didn't wash the dishes or something like that, like something really like minute. And I think we're seeing on all cases, it's brutality, us against us and them against us. And, you know, that's something that we really have to root out as a people, as a culture, and as a nation.
Absolutely. And speaking from very firsthand experience, my mom was a foster care parent for more than 20 years. And, you know, there are some foster families who are there to truly give these kids a home. And there's some who are there to just collect a check, right? Just being, you know, they're collecting checks. You know, my mom, the foster kids that were in my mom's home still call her mom. They still call her now. She adopted 3 brothers, you know. She was one of those who took care of the children, and they respected her, and she treated them like they were her own.
Right.
And so, and they remembered that. And it's just a shame that, you know, like I put some blame on the state too, because they have to do a better job at placing these children and approving people to be foster parents who are not fit. Like, you have to do more, you know, you have to do more for these kids. Like, you have to protect them. And she was not protected. She just was not protected. And it's unfortunate. And then, you know, Shalette, did you have something you wanted to add?
I just want to say, just in both of these cases, this is where police are being lazy and they're not doing their jobs as policemen. Yes, this man, he was justified in shooting this girl. Like, she was about to stab this other young lady. So, you know, quick thinking, whatever. Yes, it was just, but you are a police officer. And we all know that had those children been young, wild, white boys doing the same thing, he would have put more skin in the game. And it's the same thing with what happened in North Carolina with Andrew Brown. Like, if these officers weren't so hyped up, because they were hyped up, rolling to his house, they were so excited, that man would be alive right now. He was just trying to flee a scene. Get in your car and chase him. Do the work in both cases. And this is what we need, and this is what we deserve as human beings. And I think that the investigations that are pending in Louisville and in Garland, in the Minneapolis Police Department and in Louisville, are proof that the government is not going to let this type of behavior continue. It's not normal. Do your job.
Yeah, and I hope that's the truth. Honestly, you know, Kenya, with these investigations, I think that, you know, there's so many things that we have to start getting right. We don't want, obviously, the Derek Chauvin case to be the one-off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it cannot be the one-off. We have to hold every single one of them accountable for the things they've done. Now, speaking from a media side, Kenya, I know that we get upset when we see these things happen, and then the media is reporting on all the things that they've done, their record, their history. Why? You know what I mean? We have to change that. That is not right. This is not how you know, and I know you, go ahead.
No, I was going to point out, you're right. And George Floyd's situation, his death, was a really good example of how they tried to come out with this whole narrative of he, you know, was this, he did that, he might have been a drug addict, whatever. And there was a strong push against that narrative. This man was a father, he was a fiance, he was all these other things. I remember learning about him having ambitions to be a musician and a rapper at one point. We tend to, and I say we, I mean the media, we tend to forget that when people die, when people are victims of a crime, I'm sorry, victims of a police shooting in this situation, you know, these situations that have happened, these are people, they are humans, they had lives. And just because they died at the hands of police doesn't automatically convict them of anything. They're not guilty of anything. They're, you know, we need to be careful about how we present folk in the media, because it's important to realize that no matter what went down, they were still somebody's father, somebody's husband, somebody's coworker, somebody's whatever, and they meant something to those people. And it's important that we get that right.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So obviously more to come on that. So moving on, Liz, we have a father that is outraged because his biracial daughter's hair was cut at school. Now, I saw the article, saw his interview, where someone cut the kid's hair at school. I mean, on the bus. Kids do that. It's horrible, but they do. He was like, hey, it's a kid. I chalked it up as that. But then I took her to get it cut so she'd like it and it'd be asymmetrical. She felt good. She goes to school and the teacher cuts her hair off. What? Like, why would, Liz, girl, I'm still trying to figure it out, because the teacher would be, listen, honey.
If Molly ever had been involved, my mama, who, honey, it would have not been, because one thing that you're not going to do is talk about Molly's Black child or her Black husband. That's what you're not going to do. You know, my mom was a very strong example for me of what love was and what sticking to your guns. I have a biracial family. So, you know, what sticking to your guns is, you know, when you love somebody and how you have to, like, you can't just love the person. You have to learn about all of the pieces, right? So we had to learn about my hair. We had to learn about my skin tone. We had to learn about, like, I sunburn, you know what I mean? Even though, you know, I'm brown, people get confused about that. Like, and so being a biracial child has a lot of different elements and levels, and you're constantly navigating several different codes at all time. You know, we talk about code switching. You have a knowledge of all the different things that are happening at the same time. And the unfortunate part for this little girl is that I really kind of feel like she kind of got caught up in a code. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times people feel like they know what is right for a child, or they know what is right for this situation. And especially, like, honestly, let's be honest, you know, in the Black community, Black women's hair is their crown. So somebody else would say, and someone has said to me when it came to, like, hair issues before, oh, it's just hair. Like when I was learning to wear my afro, oh, it's just hair. No, I'm a Black woman. It's not just hair. It's my crown. It's my glory. So I don't think that this woman may not have thought anything about it, and may not have realized culturally how serious that is for us, right? But at the same time, like, Google it, dude. Like, we can't always be responsible to educate you. You also need to get to know what's happening.
But even, yeah, even outside of that, I don't care if the child was white, black, brown, or yellow.
Or pink.
You don't cut somebody's hair.
Listen,
Right?
Hillsborough County would know my name, okay?
Sis. It's just, I don't understand the liberties people feel they have.
Because they don't fear the consequences. They don't. The school district has not released the teacher's name. The school district has not even called this man back.
It's the Caucasian.
This isn't going to end well for her.
What'd you say, Shalette?
I said it's the caucasity of it all for me.
It's right.
Oh, let me fix your hair. I mean, this is a little mess.
Who does that? Who does that?
Let me just cut it all off, ma'am.
Right.
Okay. Right. All right. And then, speaking of the caucasity of things, Shalette, what are your cousins and stuff doing in South Dakota? Talking about they about to do a slave auction and branding fundraiser.
Girl, like, first of all, I still don't understand the branding part. I don't understand the branding part. But y'all remember when y'all was in high school and Key Club used to do, like, the pancake breakfast as their fundraiser or whatever? So they took the pancake supper a little bit further. It was like, oh no, let's add some slavery to it. And guys, it's not like this is the first year that they've done it. They've been doing this for over a decade. They've been doing the slave auction. And it's like, oh, no Black people are involved, so it's fine. No, you don't. No, slave auctions became out of style when slavery ended. Okay, so no to slave auctions. It's
For all
never
races.
cool.
For all
it's not
races.
cute. We used to get in trouble just for doing day auctions back in college, and that's still kind of like frowned upon or whatever. And the only reason this thing got canceled is because somebody put a flyer on social media. So you know you're doing wrong when you find out that everybody else is fine.
You know, let me just point out that racists love to say that Black people just can't let go slavery. You just can't let it go. You're always bringing it up. But y'all actually like to reenact and relive it over and over and over again. So who has the problem exactly? It ain't us.
Preach.
Listen.
And have the nerve to put it in the parentheses of the good old days.
Oh,
the audacity.
Man.
Listen, let me tell you something. I'm just at a loss. I don't even have.
What can you say? What can you say?
I just don't understand how people are still the adults who allow it. Teach them this, because it's taught. It's not something they just pick up. No, they're taught this. Someone said, you know what would be a good idea for us?
For the rodeo club to do? Here's a good idea for the rodeo club. Why don't you ride on out of here with that?
Oh, my.
Was South Dakota even a state during slavery time? I mean,
Listen,
that's funny.
Okay, I'm not understanding the appeal. Like, what are you doing?
That's funny.
All right, ladies, we are way over time. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful and fabulous start to the month of May. And we will see you on the other side for our last show. Thank you, ladies. Mwah, 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 mwah. All right, Mocha Marvels will be right back. Stay tuned. All right, cool.
Yeah,
Y'all lucky I ain't make you sing happy birthday to me.
It's your birthday. Why'd you tell us?
My birthday.
I just remember it's Saturday.
The views and opinions expressed on Mocha in the Morning are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official position of the show, its producers, staff, and sponsors.
Your Mocha Minute is brought to you by Black in Florida, your online connection to everything that's Black in Florida. All right, Mocha Marvels, we are so excited about this week's Mocha Moment because it features our very own Liz Everett. And what'd you say, Jorge?
Hey, Liz, how you doing?
Take a look.
Mocha Marvels. It is your girl, Dr. Jen Green, coming to you from Honolulu, Hawaii. Just wanted to touch base and make sure that you understand that managing your debt isn't just about money. It's not just about dollar and cents, but it's also about the psychology of debt. How do you feel about the money? Do you feel like you have to spend it right away because it's going to be gone? Or do you think that you can save it and hold on to it so that you can actually use it to grow something you really want to do? So I want you to be aware of money mindfulness and understand that you're doing one of two things. You're either spending money or you're saving it. And that quote comes from my favorite financial advisor, Douglas Easy. So just keep that in mind for this week and continue to save as much as you can because tomorrow you will need that money. This has been your girl, Dr. Jen Green, with the Mocha Money Minute.
Mocha Marvels. It has been one beautiful show. My Mocha Marvels, obviously, my sisters came on with Piping High. Ooh. And of course, officially, Jorge gave you all the steamers. Listen, we have how many shows, Rockstar?
No, we only have one more left before Hot Girl Summer Stars.
Listen, although we only have one show left, we'll be active on all the socials. So make sure you're following us, our YouTube, our Insta, our Facebook, all of the things. Mocha Morning Show. Yes, we're everywhere. And so we want you to add a little flavor in your morning, your sister, brother, everybody's morning. So make sure you're sharing the Mocha in the Morning Show with your friends and family. All right. What'd you say, Jorge?
Oh, I'm sorry. Give me a beat.
Hey.